Alright, so it's been about a day since we got the engine all cleaned off. Today I want to finally try and pull the old oil pan off down here and get my my Holley 302 pan on. So I'm not going to get it all the way on because I'm missing some oil pan bolts down here. And they're supposed to be here today between 5 and 10 o'clock. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those in time before I finish making this video. So if they don't get here, I'll just throw it on there without the gasket, just so you can see it. But if they do get here, I'll get everything all gasketed up and on there. But first things first, let's pull these bolts off and drop the oil pan. Alright, so we've moved the engine over here. My roommate left, so I've got a bit more room in the garage here. First thing I did is I pulled off the oil filter, and then I pulled the 4 bolts that were holding the GTO pan on still, and I pulled that off. And now the next step that we're going to have to do is pull off this windage tray down here, because we're going to have to cut a notch in it for our new pickup tube for the 302 pan, for this guy, so it'll fit. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off next. I can show you guys real quick what we have to do here. I'm going to cut a notch in the very corner of it so we can get that guy to fit up in here. So that guy's going to connect right up in there and then come all along here, and we got to cut a notch out. Alright, so we got the windage tray off, and it actually turns out I'm going to have to do a bit more modifying than I originally thought, because I have a full-length windage tray, and this diagram is for a F-body windage tray. So they say if you have the full-length windage tray, you just have to cut a quarter of it off so it matches this. So you see how there's 4 holes on that one, 4 holes long, and mine is 5. So I basically have to cut right here all the way off and then put my notch right there, just like that diagram. So I'm going to take this thing out back with my trusty angle grinder, and we are going to lop a quarter of this windage tray off. So see you guys then. Alright guys, so if I measured correctly, that should be exactly what we need right there. Let's go see if we can test fit this. Alright guys, so here's the finished product. I went ahead and I filed down all my rough edges, and just to be safe, took some old oil from the oil filter and I just wiped it down just to make sure there wasn't any leftover metal shavings sitting anywhere on the pan before I put it back on, because that would be no good. But anyways, let's see if we can throw that guy back down there and see if the new pickup screen fits with these modifications. Alright, so here we are. We got our windage tray back in. This is what it should look like right here. There's where our new pickup tube is going to attach to. I just have everything all finger tight right now, because now we got to go grab the pickup tube and follow the instructions from there and see how that's going to fit. So let's grab this guy, pull it out. I think there's some hardware lying around. I might have left it over here. Let's see. There should be an O-ring in here for this, and I believe we just have to apply some fresh oil to one end and then bolt it on. So let me read the instructions and figure that out. Alright, so we got this guy on. Everything's all torqued down. Now we can go set up the oil pan and get that all sorted out, and then we'll get this thing on. And there we are. Baffles in, got all the bolts on, everything's torqued down, Loctite on the baffle bolts, and we are ready to put this on the engine. Alright, first ordeal of today, we're going to actually get the oil pan on. I have my bolts now. My gasket is sitting over there. I've got the surface cleaned off just about as best as I could. So now we're going to throw a little bit of RTV on each of these seams on the corners here. And we'll set the oil pan gasket on and bolt it up.